Port had a clear lead in the ruck early, a lot of hit-outs, and Sam Jacobs came back very strongly. Is there any change in the way he played in the second quarter, or that resulted in that? Or
no, well, Sam went into the game with a few different strategies about how he would, minimise the impact of Ryder, and he sort of worked through those, and it was pretty even battle in the end overall in the game. I thought probably Sam was pretty solid in the first half, and his hit-outs to advantage were up today, which is different from last week. But it was a great contest, as reflected the whole game. I thought the battle between Jacobs and Ryder.
What impressed you most about the side?
Oh, it was a game of real even, sort of guys just playing their role. I mean, it was an arm wrestle all night. And it probably wasn't until Tex kicked that goal towards the end, the long goal, that you sort of felt like that was probably going to be a bridge too far for him from that point. But it was a tough contest. You expect that showdowns, and it's exactly what we got.
Tom, what did you find it so tough at the beginning again? One of those sort of difficult starts for Adelaide, but then you claw your way back in. What did you have to adjust, or what did you think your players had to change in their own mindset? The contest was significant, as I think we've spoken about in the lead into the game. That was always going to be an area where it ebbed and flowed, and I thought our guys, first quarter was solid. I thought the second quarter it allowed us to get some field position, and I think the numbers really showed that at half time. The game was being played now half, and we probably felt like that was going to give us clearly the best chance to score. And that sort of continued into the third quarter, and then towards the end of the third quarter, we conceded a couple of goals that put Port Adelaide back in the game, and they came at us pretty hard at the start of the last quarter. It sort of ebbed and flowed on the contested ball numbers, and at the end of it, we were really strong in that area, which is a good reward for our mids and the whole side that has worked hard in that space. It's a solid 15 minutes where you lock it in your half. I think it's about 12 of the 13 inside 50s you hold in that period. What defines Adelaide in the way it locks that ball in that forward half?
Oh, it's a combination of things. It's obviously winning it to start with and getting it down there, and then our ability to set up well both around the ball, pressure on the ball, and then behind the ball. To the players' credit, they could do that. But then the flip side, Port did that pretty well into the third quarter, and we were having trouble moving it out of our back half, and they're getting some repeat entries. It's just the game these days. It's how it sort of ebbs and flows, and just proud of the way our guys hung in and stayed nice and calm, and were able to get the result.
The man who's sitting next to you seems to carry the team very well on his shoulders. What do you like about him?
Oh, he's just a genuine competitor. From first bounce to final siren, he's a guy where you can rely on in those contests to set the example, but B, really just lead. And there's moments in games, as we know, where you need your leaders and your best players to stand up. And I thought both Rory and to be honest with Tex as well tonight in that space were very strong. And that's what the best players do. They help and they make people around them play better, both with how they play and the example they set.
Rory, that makes it 21-all, with Adelaide and Port. Does that mean anything to the players? And has it ever bothered you?
I did hear during the week it was 21-20. I was like, it would be nice to be even, or even in front, but I mean, that's not our focus going into a game. We just knew they were in good form, and we were in good form too, so we just wanted to get another win, really.
As a player, how did this game compare with the other showdowns?
I think that's the hottest first quarter I've played in a showdown. I mean, normally it lasts about a 10-minute period where there's just real solid heat on the ball, but it seemed to last the whole quarter. And as Pyke mentioned, I think our contest work was really good, but maybe just our composure was tested out with a bit of Port's pressure.
Tom, that's a pretty good sample. You've got now 3 solid games. Has it answered what you've put before them in that pre-season about being stronger at the contest and defining games by being very hard at the contest as well?
Oh, I think it's steps in the right direction. We still, every week you get an opportunity to come with a plan against an opposition and you learn from that. And we continue to do that. There's still some things tonight which we'll reflect on and say we can keep doing better. But clearly, at the moment we've made some progress and we've got to continue doing that. We're 3 games into what is a long year and it's been a positive start. But there's still plenty of work to do.
Do you have to hold your nerve, Don, when you have Hardigan on Gray, or was that a deliberate matchup, or was that just whoever comes through Cole was going to get?
No, we felt we planned for Cole to play on Robbie Gray. We thought that Cole's got good speed, he's got good agility. He's obviously a taller defender as well, and I thought he was fantastic. I thought he won his one-on-ones and won some crucial balls at times when there was a fair bit of supply going into the Port forward line. So that was a great result for Cole tonight. And our back six overall as a group, I thought, held up really well.
McGovern injury or not, Alton's making it hard to tip out of that side now, isn't he?
Yeah, look, as I said, he's got getting reward for what's been a great off season, and again tonight he chipped in at times with some key moments where he either take a good mark or flick a tap out or tackle or pressure. He's just playing his role. That's all we ask of Andy. He did it again tonight.
Did you think though that he could do this role? Obviously we know what he can do as a defender, but as a forward, did you think before this season he could do what he's doing at the moment?
Well, probably not. We know he's played forward before, not in my time at the footy club. So when I asked, he said he played forward before, and I think people had seen him play forward before. He's a smart player, Andy. He's a genuine leader. He's got great experience, and even tonight you could see at times he's got a composure about him, and he understands the game. And that's really helpful when you're coaching, is that you've got guys who actually are able to settle things down or actually just read the cues of what the game's telling you. So it was another really pleasing game from Andy tonight.
Three zip against three pretty good opponents. What's that done for the belief within the group?
Guys still had some belief sort of rolling over from last year. So we've played a lot of footy together now, this group in particular. And as you've seen this year, there's a couple other guys who have come in and just stepping up and playing roles for us as well. So, we just go in expecting and wanting to win every game, and it's as simple as that. And if we keep playing the way we do, we'll certainly make it hard for teams.
Were there times where you tried to slow it down a bit? Because they seem to want to have a shootout just about the other mob.
Oh, in the last quarter, certainly. We wanted to slow it down. I think there was a few boys that were sort of pushing it a bit, pretty tight in the last quarter. So we probably didn't take it on as well as we should have in the last. But, that's just how the game was. It was so contested early, and I think a few boys from both teams probably spent all their tickets a bit early.
Rory, assuming McGovern is okay and he plays next week, if in your time at the Crows, have you known the pressure for selection to be tougher? Because you've got a lot of players coming back.
Yeah, last year was certainly pretty good. We didn't have too many injuries last year, and hopefully that's just the same this year. But we just, as Pyke mentioned before, guys like Andy Otten, Curtly Hampton, Wayne Miller, these guys come in, we just expect them to play their role, and that's what they're doing for us. And we'll go watch the SANFL team tomorrow, and there's a few boys coming back, and we've got Brad Crouch playing there, so it's certainly going to be hot for selection all year.
Rory, how important is that, I suppose, extra speed you got through the midfield this year with, Cameron was great again tonight, Miller, Atkins. Just talk about their influence a little bit.
Certainly helps me, because I probably lack a little bit of leg speed at times, so it's nice to be able to flick the ball out to these boys on the outside, and they can start running with it, and I'll just do the dirty work inboard.
Good. Thanks, guys.
Sweet as.